Hello students, today I shall be discussing the topic basis for market segmentation. This is from the unit 2 market segmentation from paper code 109, that is introduction to marketing management. Now in my previous video on market segmentation, I have tried to elaborately explain what do we mean by market segmentation. I have also given examples for that. After that, I have also discussed the need for market segmentation. In today's video, I shall be basically dealing with the basis or the criteria for market segmentation. Although market segmentation depends upon the marketer's need and the creativity of the marketer, but we can find that there are basically three bases for market segmentation, and that can be broadly divided into number 1 customer based segmentation, number 2 product based segmentation, and number 3 is the competition based segmentation. In this video I shall be discussing about the first one, that is the customer based segmentation. Now, as we can understand from the term, customer based segmentation means it is a type of segmentation where the main focus of division is on customers. Now, in order to segment the market on the basis of customer, there are various factors or variables which are taken into consideration. So, let us go into the variables elaborately. The first variable for customer based segmentation is the geographic location of the customer. So according to this geographic location of the customer, the entire the location can be either divided into say urban and rural, or it can be divided into metro and non-metro areas. Further, we can also divide, say for example, if we have to do the market segmentation of a big country like India, then we can divide it into 4 zones, that is the north, the west, the south, and the east zone. Further, in each zone we have states. So the next level of segmentation can be states. From states we can have districts, then we can further divide it into sub districts, cities, towns, urban, suburban, and finally rural. Okay. Now generally again when we are doing further we can also divide it into, on the basis of district, as I said, we can also divide it into mufassil and block markets, etc. Okay, and the assumption in this kind of segmentation is that people of in a particular geographic area have identical preferences and consumption pattern. For example, if we compare the preferences and consumption pattern of people living in urban in urban places and in rural places, then we see that there is a big difference between the preferences, the likes, dislikes, the pattern of consumption of different things. So when we are doing a segmentation like this, where we are dividing it into further, we are dividing and subdividing the things, then what is happening is that we are able to get a more homogeneous group of people rather than having heterogeneous group of people, because that is a main fundamental of market segmentation, where we need to have homogeneous groups rather than heterogeneous groups. Okay, then in this kind of geographical segmentation, in this kind of geographical segmentation, we can see that geographically when we are segmenting the customer market, then in future that will help the marketers only to plan for the distribution pattern, because it has been observed that the type of market, geographical location that we are targeting on, the pattern of the product, the promotion, the pricing, as well as the distribution pattern, everything will change as per the geographical locations. Okay. Now Then we go to the next kind of segmentation, which is the demographic characteristics. Now when we talk about demographic characteristics, we mean that when the market is when the customer market basically is segmented on the basis of age, education, income, occupation, language, religion, gender, family size, marital status, nationality, then it is a kind of a demographic segmentation of the market. For example, we can see that suppose if we have to segment the market on the basis of gender, then the marketer will try to focus on the two genders, that is a male and the female. And initially, say about 15-20 years ago, there was no concept of having cosmetics, different cosmetics for both for men and women. When it was taken into it was considered quite obvious that if it is Pond's Dream Flower, then that will be used by both men as well as the women members of the family. But today, right from say deodorant to talcum powder to toothpaste to a kind of brush that we are using, then the face wash that we are using, the cream that we are using is again differentiated between the two genders, because the marketers promote by saying that both of the genders have the different skin texture. Okay, then why to use the same cream or cosmetics for when the needs, the requirements, the preferences are different for both the genders. Okay, then another kind of segmentation is very common kind of segmentation is when we are segmenting the customer market based on the say the age group. Okay, so age group is also a very important criteria for customer segmentation. Like for example, we can divide the customer market into various age groups. Like for example, there can be an infant age group which consists of newborns to up to 1 year. That is the infant market. Then the second one is the child market, which can be up to 1 to 12 years. Then after that, it can be the teen market, which starts from 13 years to say 19 years. After that, it can be the adolescent market, which is from 16 to 19. Okay, then we have the youth market, which is from say age 20 to 35, and then we have the middle age market from 36 to 50, and 50 hour is the elder or the senior market. Now why this is done so? Because at different ages, the preferences, the likes, dislikes of the customers will change. A teenager will not have the same preference for say the dress or the cosmetics as a middle-aged woman. Okay, or a senior elder woman. Okay, so depending upon the preference age, because age is helping in determining what your likes and dislikes are at that particular point in time, at that particular stage of your life. So one very common criteria for customer segmentation can also be the age. Similarly, we can also have it on the basis of income, because customer it can be divided into customer income, or it can be his or her family income. But generally, the most reliable form of segmentation in terms of income can be the family income. So on the basis of this, the marketers can segment the market into say low income group, then the low middle income group, then the middle income group, the upper middle income, and the higher income group. So this is how, on the basis of the income pattern of the customers, there can be several segmentation. So this is again another form of market segmentation. Now the third kind of segmentation is the psychographic variable. Psychographic variable, as the name suggests, has to do something with the psychological characteristics or features of an individual. Now studies have shown that two people who belong to the same age, okay, and might be having the same level of education, and maybe also in the same income group, okay, and maybe of the same gender, okay, in spite of so many similarities, we can find that two people may differ in terms of maybe their attitude, their perception, their overall personality, their risk taking ability, and the affinity for brands or non brands, etc. So this is largely because the personality, the lifestyle of the people differ from each other, and marketers are trying to use the psychographic parameter for customer segmentation, because it is much more focused, and it helps to concentrate on, again, segment the market further and concentrate on each group individually. Now, for this, let me give you an example of, say, the company Titan. Titan has got various ranges of, watches. Starting from the highest range, we have Raga collection, which is for a different class of people. Okay, people with different profession, people with different personalities. Okay, then we have we also have the Timex watches. We have the Fast Tracks segment. All these things are for the different psychographic taking into consideration the various psychographic differences of one individual with the other. These kind of segmentation has also been done. Another example let me give you is that of say the magazine Femina. Femina, when it relaunched itself, means earlier it was targeting on the older, more traditional women, but when it relaunched itself, then it focused on the modern woman and not the traditional, the old woman. Women who are, you can say that women of substance, or women with an international world view, women who are successful in their careers. So this is how Femina had, depending upon the lifestyle of the people, depending upon the perceptions of the people, it had again relaunched itself to target a different section of market now. Okay, apart from that, we can also have the socio-economic variable. That is also a very important variable. As the name suggests, socio-economic means the differentiation is based on the social structure or the society, and the economic is basically the financial part. So on the when we talk about the socio-economic variables, which is also an important factor for market segmentation. In this difference in terms of income, or the size of the family, or say the caste, the religion, the lifestyle of that person, the culture, the communities that they belong to, or on all these bases the segmentation is done. Like for example, this kind of segmentation is basically used for say toothpaste or soaps, detergents, clothes, etc. Remember students, I had given you the example of Nirma and Sunlight, Nirma versus Sunlight. So Nirma had used this strategy, or say Hindustan Unilever had used up this strategy of socio-economic variable, where they had targeted people with on the basis of their lifestyle and the culture that they belong to. Okay. Another kind of, apart from all the four variables that we had discussed, which are very important when we are doing the segmentation of the market, on the basis of customer. So when we are doing the customer segmentation of the market, apart from these four variables, another variable which is also very important is the buyer readiness. Means how much the buyer, the person who is buying, so buyer is willing to buy that particular thing, he is ready to buy a particular thing. So basically when we talk about readiness, it is basically the preparedness to buy a product. At any given time, there can be different kinds of buyers. See, like buyers can be at the different stages of readiness. For example, first kind of category of buyers can be people who are unaware. Okay, so these are known as the unaware buyers. What to buy? So unaware buyers. The second one is people who are aware but they are not interested. Some people who are aware of things but they are not interested. The third one is people who are aware and they are also interested and they are also desirous to buy that. Okay, so that is the third kind. And the fourth is those who will positively buy the product. So depending, so you see that the degree of readiness or the preparedness to buy a product will change from for each categories. In my next video, I shall be discussing on the product based segmentation. Thank you.